Hi, readers. I was journeying back through all of the learning we've done. I was thinking about how we discovered how lots of characters in a lot of stories could be a really long, super duper grown up novel, or it could be a really simple picture book like we read Peter's Chair and Little Critter Gets Mad. And we noticed that characters of all types of books um, have a lot of obstacles and challenges in their story. And as we think about everything that they've gone through, it's almost as if they're climbing a mountain and they get to the top and it's like things just can't get any worse. And then they get solved as we climb back down the mountain. And I was thinking about how not only can we take the story that's told to learn about our character and the challenges they face, but we can also look at the illustrations. And you might be thinking, I don't remember any illustrations in Because of Winn-Dixie. And you're right. There aren't always going to be illustrations in every book that we read. Sometimes, though, in a chapter book, there are illustrations. Now, there aren't as many as there were in Peter's Chair, but that is a clue from the illustrator to the reader. If they don't have a ton of illustrations, it's particularly important to look at the few that they have and ask yourself, what could this add to my understanding of the story? Now, because we're kind of new at this is the first time we've really talked about illustrations, I wanted to use a familiar picture book, but I also have been talking to my third graders a lot this week as they're actually choosing books for my own classroom library finally, and I've been reminding them that just because a book has pictures doesn't mean it's easy. It also doesn't mean that it's a really shallow book without a very good storyline, or that it's boring, or that it's for babies. In fact, some of my picture books are the hardest books in my classroom library to read, to understand. So I thought this would be a good time to remind you that even though we are definitely challenging ourselves to get to know characters that we learn about chapter after chapter after chapter, we can still get to know characters even when we're picking up a picture book. And one way we can do that is to look at the illustrations that have been included that can tell us even more than what the words are telling us. So let's do it with Peter. I think as we go through and look at some of the illustrations by Ezra Jack Keats, who we know is just an incredibly talented artist who faced his own challenges in his life, I think we'll notice that the illustrations help us kind of climb this mountain with Peter. They help us understand that there's more to Peter's feelings and more to what he's facing than just what the words are going to tell us. Let's look. So this is the beginning of the story, just in case you don't remember. It's the very beginning when he's making a tower and it comes crashing down. And his mom yells at him because they have a new baby in the house. Now, if I just read the words, Peter doesn't respond to his mom. The author doesn't tell me what Peter's thinking. The author doesn't tell me what Peter does. There's no actions. But if I take a look at the illustration, I notice that he's kind of hunched over. He's looking over his shoulder. He looks kind of worried and upset, right? I wonder if he is upset that he got in trouble and worried that this new baby might be changing things in his house. Nowhere on this page does the author tell us that. That is only information we can gather about Peter from the illustrations. Let's try one more time. This is when Peter is going around the house and he's noticing that some things are pink, and they used to be his things. It says Peter looked into his sister Susie's room. His mother was fussing around the cradle. That's my cradle, he thought, and they painted it pink. Now, at this point, I'm not really sure exactly how Peter feels about it. He doesn't say that he's angry. He doesn't say that his feelings are hurt. He doesn't say, he actually just thinks about the cradle. He doesn't say anything to his mom about how he's feeling. But if I take a look at the picture, it looks like his eyes are kind of furrowed a little bit, and he's just sort of like sneaking around the wall so that his mom doesn't see him. So I think he possibly might be nervous about telling her how he's feeling. Maybe he thinks, I bet I'll get in trouble if I'm upset about something that has to do with the new baby. Now, friends, on this page, you have a challenge to tell me more, because as you can see, there are no words describing how Peter is feeling or what he's saying as he attempts to sit down in his blue chair. What is going on this page, and what more can you tell me about Peter's feelings? Let me give you a clue before you go off to answer this question. His mouth sort of looks like this shape. How would you describe that?